Now, when you implement a financial plan, it not necessarily be a product. It can also be taking certain action in your life to make yourself better.
Hi, everyone. Get ready to listen to Your Money, Your Life. This is a show that talks about money and life and how we can have a better relationship with money so that we become more confident with managing our money and use it to improve our life. I'm your host, Kevin Neo. I'm a CFP professional who have a strong passion in personal finance. If you want to gain more control over your money and use it to improve your overall well-being, to live the life that you want, you have come to the right place. Let's dive into today's episode now. In this episode, we will look at the state of financial planning in Malaysia, as well as some tips for us to navigate an unprecedented year. I'm joined by Ms. Linnet Lee, CEO of Financial Planning Association Malaysia, or we commonly call it as FPAM. FPAM is Malaysia's leading association for financial planning with the goal of equipping individuals with applicable skills and knowledge on financial management. FPAM is a non-profit organization with a vision and mission to establish the CFP mark as a global mark as the leading symbol of excellence for personal financial planning. In addition to this, FPAM also grooms its member to be a better financial professional. Last but not least, FPAM also strives to promote financial literacy across the breadth of the population of Malaysian so that we all can be smarter when we make our financial decision. So let us together welcome Linnet to our show today. Hi, Linnet. Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
Kevin. Thank you for the opportunity to do some sharing for the benefit of your listeners.
It's our pleasure to host you here. I know that you have had a very busy schedule since the many past weeks. In fact, last month, even in Malaysia here, we celebrated World Financial Planning Day on the 7th of October. And this day was celebrated globally and also an annual event. It is hosted by Financial Planning Standard Board, or rather we call it as FPSB, supported by FPAM here in Malaysia. And closer to home here, it was also our financial literacy month last month. So I guess you have been pretty busy lately.
Oh yes, the Financial Literacy Month is actually organized by our Financial Education Network, which is co-hosted by Bank Negara and Securities Commission.
I see. So with all these initiative and activities in place, I suppose our aim is to help Malaysian to equip ourselves with a better and stronger financial knowledge so that we can make a better decision when it comes to our personal finance. And I understand that FPAM has also conducted a consumer financial planning awareness survey last year, and it got published in early this year. I think this survey has revealed some key findings that are interestingly insightful. In fact, I was thrilled to know that majority of respondents, they actually consider themselves knowledgeable about financial matters and were confident that they would achieve their goals. However, I think this demonstrates a strong confidence could also be based on some bias because compared to similar kind of survey that was done in other country, perhaps some are more developed than our country, consumers there seem to have lesser confidence and they would generally consider themselves less knowledgeable when it comes to personal finance. So what is your view on this, Lynette?
Good question, Kevin. To me, financial literacy covers different levels of society, from the poverty to the medium income group, the mass affluent, as well as the high net worth. If you look at OECD INFI financial literacy programs, they are already focused on the lower income group and doing a good job. Lower income group needs a change in mindset and to learn good money management. The mass affluent and high net worth will be more focused on wealth managers, which is predominantly covered by the banks. However, the medium income group which makes the biggest group in developing and developed countries, are the ones who benefit most from financial planning. In this particular survey, if I look at the demography, they are the younger group of people, and perhaps being younger, and some of them would have already had the benefit of learning basic financial management, and this could make up for the respondent of being more confident with their personal finances. And because this was done last year, I'm not surprised at the outcome. However, if we were to ask the same group of people like the same question this year, well, it may turn out different because no one was ever prepared for this pandemic. So back to you.
None of us would have predicted that we would be spending most of the year in 2020 at home, right?
Yes, working from home, having to adapt to new normal, learning how to coexist with family members more when we're working from home. So yeah. Life's like that.
I think you are very right when you say that if we were to ask the same question to the same group of people this year, perhaps the perception and attitude towards our own feeling and confidence might have been quite different given the circumstances that is rather challenging and very unique that we are facing for the first time this year. So assuming that most of us would be struggling to make ends meet, or we are dealing with different kind of challenges now that is brought over by the global pandemic, and having to deal with rising costs of living at the same time, and some of them actually might have to be quite stressed or worried about their financial situation. What are the things that you would suggest people to emphasize or to do first?
Well, three things most important, especially when you want to look at personal finances. And I'm just talking in general first, and then I'll drill down to during this pandemic situation. The three most important things is to have a right mindset, a strong determination to want good personal finance management for yourself, and last but not least, lorry loads of discipline. And of course, a little help from a licensed financial planner would definitely go a long way. And if you look at current situation, there's one more area which I think will need a lot of help in. And we're talking about mental and emotional health. Because being cooped up in the office, in the house for a prolonged time and doing everything from working to living and hardly going out, it has put a strain on many of us. So this is where I think apps, because you can't go out as you like, and even if you do, there are people who are very mindful and careful about going out. There are apps like Naluri Hidup by Asran that would really help people because it will be able to advise you on how to manage your health yourself. Then for those who are not so familiar or do not want to subscribe to Naluri, there's still the befrienders. The befrienders have always been time immemorial, and they're very good in helping you to manage your emotions, especially at the current situation.
And apart from the two organizations that you have mentioned, there's actually another one. It's called BGF.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
They have a team of people who are trained consultant and also consultant by profession, a counselor who will be standing by at the phone. And then when people who need help or have a lot of things on their mind, they need someone to listen to them. They can call the hotline, and then there will be people who on the other side, qualified people who will play the role of a listener and also to provide certain guidance when it can.
Yes, and I think we should also throw in, whilst we're at it, the Women's Aid Organization, whereby they help women who are being abused. Their contact is online on the website. And if anyone knows anybody who's being abused, either children or spouse, please do your neighbor a good favor and contact WAO, Women's Aid
WAO.
Organization.
It's very
to
amazing the things they do. They provide shelter to women. They also take care of the children who has to follow the mother in the event of that. Then the mother has to be taken away from the home so that can stop the domestic abusing relationship.
Yes. So I think this is one area which during good times is not so much highlighted, but at this point in time, yeah, it becomes very important because in a way it also affects our financial situation.
Couldn't agree more to that. Whatever we feel, whatever we do indirectly, it will definitely be linked to our money situation. And at the same time, I think how we manage our money also will have an indirect impact on our mental health, our happiness, and our overall well-being. So I would say that these all things are actually interlinked and they have an influence among the how we do in different areas.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. So from this survey, Linnet, we also noted that majority of respondents, they were aware of the profession called licensed financial planner that exists, and they have indicated that they would consider working with a licensed financial planner. Can you share with us what are the benefits of working with a licensed financial planner and how this will help Malaysians in pursuing their life goals or to get over their financial challenges that they're dealing with?
All right. I like to go back and I refer back to my earlier answer saying that having a little help from a financial planner would go a long way. Let me expand what a financial planner does here so that people will have a better understanding. It is common for a lot of people to think that financial planners behave like a tied agent. When I say tied agent, it means either an insurance agent or a unit trust agent. However, those people are more product specialists and their area of specialty is knowing a lot about their product and perhaps recommending products to you as a member of the public. But what a licensed financial planner does is quite different. Before they even talk to you about any financial product, the first thing that they do is they will understand you. They will help you to also understand yourself and help you to crystallize your thoughts so that you would know what you want in life, what are the priorities that you have, and you cannot have 10 priorities and start chasing all 10 because it's virtually impossible.
I mean,
It would make more
resources are
sense to
limited.
highlight which are the top 3. Yes. And also, basing on what you want and the timeline that you have, they will also look at what you have and how can this help you to achieve the goals that you want. If the goals that you want are not realistic, then they will help you to relook at it so that you can plan better. In fact, just coming back a little bit to the World Financial Planning Day, the theme for it this year is actually aligned with the current pandemic situation. It is live your today and plan your tomorrow. And this is so true because what your financial planner does is to teach you or to share you, to work with you on how you can live well today. And then also to help you to plan what you want in the future at the different timeline that you have. Only when they've done all that and they've looked at your personal situation, which differs from other people, then only they will then start making recommendations. Now, if you look at these recommendations, you can say whether you are comfortable or not. And this is where the discussion will also be on that, and you're happy with the plan. They're here to hold your hand and walk you through the implementation. Now, when you implement a financial plan, it not necessarily be a product. It can also be taking certain action in your life to make yourself better. For example, recently I spoke to a financial planner, and one of the things that the client was short on was having proper protection in place. However, the client was overweight. And what the planner did was, first and foremost, set out a diet plan and an exercise plan. And the client said, wow, I thought you're just handling my finances. I did not realize that you would even be helping me to get better and healthier and creating this awareness. So there you go. A financial planner is somebody who not only plan your finances, but will also look at your numbers in relation to your life situation. Um, they put on many hats and play many roles. So for the fees that you pay for financial planner, and if they can do this for you, wouldn't you think that it's worth every cent that you pay? Back to you, Kevin.
Okay. Thank you very much for pointing out that as a financial planner, especially those who practice what we call holistic financial planning or financial life planning, there is a very heavy emphasis that the financial planner will place on will be start to get to know the customer first, the client first. I mean, without understanding who the client is, it doesn't make sense to do any implementation, to buy any product, to do anything, because eventually the financial plan is tailor-made for the client, for the person. Therefore, it only makes sense if we start to understand who is this person, what are things that are important to this person, and is there any area in life that is not money related, but the person may wants to have some intention to improve, to do better, because like I said just now, everything is actually interlinked.
Yes.
Okay, so in relation to that, I think one of the difficulty for consumer now that most of the respondent in the survey indicated their willingness to work with a financial planner. However, I think one of the challenges for consumer to reach out to the right financial planner is that they may not know how do they tell whether a financial planner is a good fit or right fit to work with them, or how a financial planner can bring value to them. And in the process, the client also has to feel safe. So is there some tips for consumer that you can share with us
Yes.
when they are
Um,
thinking about working with a financial planner per se?
for many people who have worked with a financial planner, to them it's a lifelong relationship. Eh, those days when I used to hold a license and I used to serve my clients, I always tell them, we are here for the rest of your life, either yours or mine, whoever live longer. So one of the things you need to do before you engage a financial planner is to talk to at least 2 or 3 financial planners. And when you talk to them, why? Because number one is you want to be able to understand whether they have the competency. The second thing is also whether they are on the same wavelength as you, because sometimes you have a super competent financial planner. However, there is the intangible part of the way they work and the way you want them to work with you may differ. And if that be the case, then it doesn't make sense to engage that financial planner. And look again. And the question is, where do I find financial planners, real ones, the ones who are licensed? Well, there are 2 places you can search. One is you go to Securities Commission and then you look for registered registered financial, I think they call them registered representatives. So from there, you type in financial planning and then they will give you a list of financial planners. The other easier way to look for financial planner would be then to go to this website, which is called smartfinance.my. Over there is a list of financial planners. Those financial planners, you are able to see their profile, you're able to see their specialty. They even list the language which they speak, as well as you can even chat to them. So talk to 2 or 3 of them first before you decide. By the way, the website requires registration to ensure that it's a human being that's coming in to safeguard all the users of Smart Finance. And the website is actually funded by Capital Market Development Fund. The information that you see in there is contributed by either Bank Negara, AKPK, PPA. So it's reliable video content for learning. So that will be another place for you to start. You can see the picture, see what they look like. You can read about them. And then you can decide, okay, I want to speak to the person. And you can chat with them on the website itself. So that gives you a bit more information about who you're going to be talking to.
Yeah, this website even will tell you if you are looking for a financial planner who can communicate in Hokkien, for example, you will be
Yes,
able to find out who does that.
yes. And for those who are looking for an Islamic financial planner, you can see because those will have a credential, the IFP or the Shara RFP. So yeah, there's a wealth of information in there. So, and if you want to be prepared before you talk to a financial planner, there's some calculators for you to work out some numbers for yourself so that you understand yourself better before you speak to the financial planner. So there you go.
And visitor can also from the website itself send messages and discuss with the financial planner through the website itself without having
Yes.
the need to meet face to face. I mean, we are advised to stay at home most of the time, so you can do all these things, take care of your personal financial health even from your living room, from your study room, wherever you feel comfortable.
Yes. And the best part, this website is free. You just need to register only. Made possible by CMDF, spearheaded by FPAM.
I will place the link of this website and the organization that we have mentioned just now earlier into the show note later as well. Do check it out later. And then speaking of the tips of working with a financial planner, I think you pointed out one thing very important is that we have to ensure that there is a right fit between the planner and the client. It's not just about focusing on competency. Sometimes a person can be very competent, but if the person may lack of empathy or lack of proper or quality communication between the planner and the client, then it might not be easy for the client to feel safe to implement or to take action. And at the end of the day, it may actually jeopardize the whole outcome from the whole relationship as well.
Yeah. And just to add on to what you said also, sometimes people want to look for people who are similar. For example, there was one time I asked a prospect why he chose to work with me and not with the person who recommended me, because I said that person looks after your investment. She's also qualified to be a financial planner. She's a qualified financial planner, and the reason he gave was because this yes, she looks after my investment well. But the thing is, because I'm talking about my life, I wanted someone who's gone through, has got children, has gone through life, a little bit more life experience, so that I have the comfort of speaking to the person. So this is what I meant when we say a good match, right, Kevin?
Yes, exactly. This is what I usually tell a prospective client. Before I get to understand you, I don't think I have earned any right to talk to you about your money.
Yes,
Because
we need to
money at the
understand.
end of the day is just numbers, and numbers represent different meaning to different person. Yesterday I just asked someone, if you are given 10,000 income, is that a lot? Then this person said, to me it's not a lot, but to another person who is very desperate for income, maybe this is a very good income. So that's what I meant. Money at the end of the day is just numbers, and it is the person who give the meaning to this number, and that person is the client, is you yourself. That's why it's very important for a financial planner to be able to connect with the client. Otherwise, there would be a lack of synergy over there.
Correct.
Okay, that's also a saying, or rather a perception that most people may have, is that I should only consider working with a financial planner or start doing financial planning when I am rich. What is your view about this kind of belief?
Well, remember earlier I said that there are different levels of society. So there are
Yes.
different people who have different needs. Yeah. So let's start with the people who are poor or from the lower income group. This group of people, what they need most, as I said, mindset change, as well as good money management. So these are the basic skills that they need in their personal finances. Now, for those people, this is a general. I'm not saying that there are those who are come from lower income group who are not money smart. There are, but I'm saying in general. And for those who are in the medium income group, these are the group that actually will benefit from financial planning. Why? Because they earn money, but they don't earn that much that they can be comfortable spending whatever they want. They have to manage their finances very carefully. And if they manage their finances well, then they can move up to the next stage, which is your mass affluent. Now, then we talk about the mass affluent and we talk about the high net worth people. Now, people who are mass affluent, high net worth, chances are they have managed their finances well. Either they have a financial planner or they themselves are very good at managing their finances. Now, this group of people, most probably and very commonly, what they would need is wealth management. And if you talk about wealth management, you'll find that a lot of banks in general are the ones that's looking after the wealth management of this group of people. However, having said that, you will also see people who grow with their clients. I know quite a few financial planners who start with clients who are from the medium income group. And as they move up, as the client gets better, they also grow with their clients. And eventually they have their own high net worth clients because these were clients, they help them to work themselves up to a high net worth situation. So yeah, why not work with a financial planner and let the financial planner help you in moving up in your personal finances.
I mean, different kind of people, we are in a different circumstances, and therefore we have different kind of need, and that's why it's important for consumer to identify and work with a licensed financial planner, because this will ensure you are being prescribed the right solution or the right action for your situation that is unique. I guess it is also not over exaggerating to say that one of the bright side for our 2020, where we face a global pandemic, is that people has adapted and changed how we do things, how we live our life. And one of the plus side is that I observed that digital medium has taken a much bigger role in our daily life now, and most people currently are working from home, managing their investment from home. You can even open investment account on your couch nowadays, making financial decision from their couch, etc. One of the plus side is that we get to have abundance of information and contents that are related to personal finance, provided by people who have a strong passion on this subject matter, such as financial blogger, YouTuber. We are also not lack of those gurus who offer courses and whatnot. I think this can be a positive development, as well as because through their sharing, people were able to learn practical steps that another Malaysian has tried and worked out for themselves and use that as a model for success. However, I would just like to tap into your brain, like what do you think about this development?
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Working from home is a plus. There are pros and cons. First and foremost, for you to work from home, you really need to have a lot of discipline. And I'm speaking from experience because before I joined FPAM, I started life in this industry as a unit trust consultant. And when you're working from home, there's no one to clock in. There's no one to see whether you clock in and all that. So while your boss can tell you that you're working from home, you must be true to yourself and really sit down and do your work when it's time to work. So that's one area. Second area, working from home may not be suitable for everyone. It's only suitable for those who has proper work area and they have minimal disruption as well as distraction. They must also have their own equipment, laptops, double screens, a good stable internet. These are very important because there are people who choose to work from home, from the office, especially those who have young children. You have what, 6 children and a spouse and a maid, and there's no quietness in the house. How are you going to work from home? You have no peace of mind. I still remember I was, doing a webinar meeting with someone, and suddenly I heard him say, "Can you please excuse me for a while?" And then after that, he went to the back and he had a big disagreement with I think his spouse. And then he came back. He said, "So sorry about that." So you see, this is under such circumstances, I think it's better to be at work than to be at home. And yeah, and yes, whilst it's good that you have a lot of information online now, and you have a lot of YouTuber, but one must also be a bit more discerning because there are people who are sharing their experience and how they succeed. However, you need to know whether are you like them, because no one size fits all, and it not necessarily what works for that person will work for you. That's one thing. Second thing, you must also be discerning whether the person is genuine or not. Recently, there was someone who was checking up on a guru of how to make it rich, and he was showing off his car and swimming pool and saying how short a time he became rich. But when this other person went and checked out on him, they found that he was not really who he projected himself to be. He claimed that he never went to higher education, when there were pictures of him, graduating. So you need to be very discerning. And if you're not sure, there are many licensed financial planners who are also bloggers. People like Kevin here talking to me. You have Julian Ng from Accru, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware of them. You have Marshall from Planet. Ringgit or Ringgit, she's not a licensed financial planner, but Suraya is sharing her experience and she seeks opinion. So her website is a little bit different.
And
The
also
other one
very
that
practical money management tips, right?
yes, and she doesn't impose her what she does on you. In fact, she asks you to share your experience, and then of course not forgetting BFM, who is our strategic partner for our employee financial wellness workshop. They also have roommates. So in a way, it's good because whilst we have our smart finance to give you basic information, but how those are applied will come from bloggers. Roommate also has that kind where they will share practical tips as well. So just make sure that you go to a reliable website. And if you're not sure, if you have someone who is who is a financial planner, please ask the person, because another good thing about financial planners is because they are in this business and they have seen enough, they can in a way be able to tell you whether the person is genuine or not, the blogger is genuine or not. So yeah, please be very careful. And whatever it is, please don't part with your money easily unless you can confirm that the firm is genuine. If it's an investment, check with Securities Commission. If it is something to do with Forex, something to do with loans, personal loans, check with Bank Negara. And by the way, for those of you who is not yet aware, cryptocurrency is now being regulated by Securities Commission and the Securities Commission. And the one that is doing cryptocurrency is called Luno. Any other companies I've not heard of. Perhaps there may be some who's being registered, but my suggestion is always work with a registered company, one that's licensed by SC or Bank Negara for that matter. Why? Because in the event that something goes wrong or something don't turn out the way you expected, you can still seek redress because it's still within the jurisdiction of the Malaysian law. So yeah, please be safe. If you want to take risk, you can. I know there are people who are doing forex trading as well, but you must remember and be aware that if anything goes wrong, you must be prepared to be able to engage lawyers from the country of origin, because they say that they're registered with the regulators the other side, and you run a court, and if you file a court case, you have to file overseas. If you're prepared to do all that, by all means, but buyers beware, caveat emptor. Okay, back to you,
I
Kevin.
mean, it's one good thing is that information is abundantly available, and it's most of the time is available for free until someone offers to charge you through a course to learn more or whatnot. But at the same time, consumer themselves should also be very aware. Your defense level should be always high when it comes to before you parting with your money, and then you have to really practice a very high cautious level with regards to who are you taking advice from. Sometimes you can use that certain information as a reference, but you do have to remember that your personal situation will always be unique only to yourself. The things that you want are maybe quite different from the person that you are getting the information from. Therefore, do try to seek out independent and impartial advice whenever you think you will benefit from it. And then with the onset of COVID-19 and the series of MCOs that we have been having so far since March this year, we have seen a lot of news about how people finding it difficult or tougher. Some even has to see their rice bowl being taken away, and while others were still left to deal with the reduced income and how to stay afloat. What are the key messages, Linnet, you will have to people who are currently dealing with all these challenges at this very trying time?
I think if you look at the current, just recently announced budget, there are some more goodies that they are offering to people who have lost a job. I think if you have you have contributed to SOCSO, the first thing you need to do is go to them and ask them, because if you are not being compensated in any way by your company because the company has tanked and there is no revenue, you have lost your job, EIS is supposed to be able to offer you a payment for a certain duration of time. So go talk to them. In the recent budget, they also allow you to take out from your EPF account 500 ringgit per month for a year, which to help you to tie over. But you must also bear in mind that when you take this money, you're also taking your part of your retirement money. So you must pull your ear and tell yourself that when I'm in a better financial situation, this money will be put back. But if you need to use to be able to survive from day to day, you please make use of all of this that's been given. And whatever that the government gives you in terms of the Prihatin package, the Bantuan Sara Hidup, not just for the retirees, but for Rakyat, and you fall under that category and get the money, be very prudent with the money. I've heard of scary stories where when people were given 200 ringgit, I think the first round, some people actually, the whole family is going to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken because they have never had that experience before. When actually this money should be carefully saved and used for your needs rather than your wants. So that's one thing. Last but not least, there are a lot of reskilling courses which are complimentary, they are free. Please do look at what's available and take it up, reskill yourself so that you are equipped to start looking for either another job or even a contract, or maybe even to do something for yourself. For example, I know someone who lost a job, works as an executive, and what he did was he started driving Grab. But when he did drive Grab, he saw an opportunity. So beyond driving Grab, he also do delivery. And beyond delivery, he went on to, because he get to know his passengers, he did tell them, I know you're busy at work and you're also stuck at home. If you need me to send things for you to go and repair, and then go and collect it back, let me know. I will just charge you a fee for that. So it's about being innovative and looking at what is needed at this point in time that you can earn income to help you to be able to sustain. Back to you, Kevin.
I think it's obvious that to many people that sometimes they may think that when I have more money, all these challenges will go away. But I think the main recipe should always start from having the right mindset. Like what you say, even if you get a free handout now, do remember that things may actually go worse from here. Therefore, don't try to, you must learn to keep the money that you receive first, because things may actually got worse later. We don't know. Nobody knows that yet. So thank you very much, Linnet, for all the sharing that you have been given us today. I hope we can hear more from FPAM and from you, definitely. And may we as a country stand firmly on the ground and come out from this health crisis a more united nation, and at the same time with a stronger financial foundation as well.
Thank you so much. And everyone stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm certain that from what Linnet has shared with us, there are many points that we can take home and be empowered to take positive action. Small actions, when added up, it makes a huge improvement. If you find this conversation useful and can benefit your loved one or friends, do share it with them. Besides, if you want to stay in the loop for the future episodes, do subscribe and click the bell button. Until we meet again, take good care and bye.